Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and welcome to NerdTube and it's fan film reaction time. And we're going to be doing a fan film reaction to one of the people who reviews our Star Trek products. His name is Commodore Boone, and he has his own fan film out called Sorry, and this is the director's cut of Sorry. I'm here with cousin Cheeto. How you doing?
Glad to be a part of this council of reactors on this glorious day. Can't wait to review it.
And of course, Major Rage.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having me, as always.
Yep. Thank you for joining us. Now, even though we are friends of Commodore Boone, we are still going to give our honest reaction to this fan film. So understand that we're not going to pull our punches, regardless of Commodore Boone being our best friend of all time. Okay, Cheeto, let's get this show on the road.
Let's get ready to react.
Commodore Boone Productions presents Sorry. Well, somebody's going to be sorry.
Captain's log. Personal. I'm in big trouble. We was transporting a Vulcan ambassador to a neutral planet, and I said something stupid, which I wish I didn't say. I said something stupid that I shouldn't have said. But the Vulcan ambassador, he just like, "What'd you say?" And I said it again, and he says, "Don't you ever say that to me again. That's not good at all." And I'm going, "Why?" He goes, "Look it up. It's got meaning. It's bad meaning on it." And I'm like, "Well, I'm sorry. I didn't
Look
know
it up on
that
the internet.
word had meaning to it, because years ago I used to say it to my family and that, and no one ever said anything was bad. But unfortunately, it's bad somehow." So he got transported down to the planet, and I went ahead and checked it out. And,
Is this a captain's log or a personal letter? Because it's very off the cuff.
Didn't know that it had any meaning at
I'm going to
all,
go for Captain's Log.
but it did.
He did say
So-
Captain's log, I thought.
He did.
He went
Captain's
ahead
log in my
and
toilet.
told the Vulcan High Command all about it. And now I'm sitting here and I'm waiting for the admiral to call me and probably chew me a new one. It's like, damn, you try to do something right and you say something wrong, and man, it just goes kapooey. But I never knew that would make a big difference as it did. So guess I have to do more research in that and find out before you say anything without hurting people's feelings. But man,
Oh, shit.
how in the heck do you know that a word like that you said years ago had meaning like it does now? It's absolutely crazy. So we'll just sit here and find out what kind of communications I get from whoever is going to send me a communications back and probably rip me a new one. So it's like,
Oh, welcome to the
dang,
workforce,
really?
buddy.
I don't know. So, all right, I just thought I'd make a recording of this so I can have it on my personal record and make sure I don't do this again. I mean, like I said, it's absolutely no disrespect to the ambassador at all.
It looks
Didn't
like he's
know
doing
it
this
had
in
any kind of
engineering
meaning
or on the
as
bridge.
I found out it does.
Yeah.
I respect the ambassador very well. Never
The two
wanted
doors
to
in the background, it looks more like
ambassador at all.
engineering.
Just-
I was thinking more
just something
engineering.
stupid that
but,
just happens.
but it
It's
looks like
happened.
there's a
It's
chair.
all of us.
Well, that might
We
be a
all do
console
stupid
table
stuff,
behind
but
him.
now and then,
It might not be a
and
chair behind
boom,
him.
boom, here we go. We did a stupid thing,
Boom,
and
boom.
now we're screwed. It's like, dang. I don't know. I would just have to see what's going on, and
Let me
I
guess.
did hear the Vulcan
He's
ambassador
making
say
this
he's
recording
gonna
from, or he's making this
contact High
captain's log
Command
from
and probably
Starbase
try
80.
to pull all the Vulcans out of the Federation. And I'm
it's the worst. It's the worst transfer
One
ever.
little slip up
Yeah.
word, but
Got-
evidently that's all.
Got to
it takes.
resign over it.
We'll see what happens. We'll keep you up to date what's going on, or keep myself up to date, I should say. So that's why I'm hiding in auxiliary control here.
Oh, he's in
Oh,
auxiliary control. At least he explains it. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
good on
well,
you, Boone. Good
everyone
on you.
We'll just go from there, and that's about it.
But if you're the captain, why are you hiding in auxiliary
man.
control?
Maybe it's his
Captain
safe
Boone?
space.
Out.
Captain Boone, my old friend. I'm troubled by the things you have reported.
This is Breaker 19. We're on a convoy here. That's what it feels like. It feels like he's in the back of his truck doing this.
I had to turn subtitles on. I couldn't even hear him.
Yeah, I can't hear it at all.
That's why I turned the subtitles on.
Visiting an alien planet.
England planet.
Is
The alien planet.
that
His
dog-
pet dog.
They did say Archer. Maybe that's not the subtitle messing up.
On a sacred tree.
Oh, he's
It
talking
relieved
about
itself
that
on a sacred
incident.
tree. Yep.
This guy looks like
Porthos.
he's reciting. He's like he's reciting poetry right now.
Understand why it was so important to these people.
We will help you stop. You will save our
But-
people.
Eventually, he took the time and he
Now you can't unhear it.
learned
Yeah, that's it, man. You nailed it.
why it was such a problem. And genuinely apologize and the best actions that you could to correct for it.
Using
The Vulcan ambassador
enterprise content to reinforce the allegory I think he's going for here.
and you are
Is
genuine.
that an actual communicator he's got in his hand?
Your
Or
apology.
is it
It
electric
looks like, and I
razor?
can't tell with this
And
bedroom window
Light.
in the back.
Take
Well, it's
proper
like the
steps
sun's exploding in his bedroom.
Yeah.
to rectify.
I love how he has such a
Yourself.
gap between each word. It's like it actually puts a whole new line. Like between each word. It's like Shatner to the most.
Things will come together for you. Or at least I hope so, my old friend.
You will save our
Best
people.
wishes, and I will speak to you again soon. Your old friend, Cyrano.
Sarah now.
Your own friend.
Cyrano de Bergerac.
I like to enjoy myself. On the downtime that I get, the little bit that I get, I like to enjoy myself. I like to enjoy a beverage, catch up on the news and what's going on.
On the Federation News Network.
Generally, I do not like to make other people's business my business.
Okay, Boromir. Or Faramir. He
That
looks like Faramir.
is the recipe for conflict, especially when
I've
you
never-
don't have all the facts. When you don't have all the facts and you start sticking your nose in the door where it doesn't belong, there
That's when you stick your
starts
shotgun in and pull the trigger.
to be problems.
I've never seen a cap in Star Trek.
This is very similar to
However,
a video you would see shot
as
in
I
the
was
cab of
catching up on
somebody's
my news,
truck.
I think he's actually
Mr.
on set,
Roy,
though.
Admiral Roy, had a
You
little
can see
segment on my
floodlights
screens,
or the ceiling lights in the back.
and apparently you messed up a simple milk run. Except you didn't spill the milk. You literally I can't believe you did that, Boone. You insulted the Vulcan ambassador. Of all people, you had to insult the ambassador?
It's
Give me a
what Boone
break,
does
man.
best.
You know, sometimes I wonder how Starfleet promotes people like you into positions like yours. Captain Boone, a captain, disrespecting a power of that nature. You're lucky the Admiral hasn't stripped you of everything you've ever thought you had or will have. Because if I was the Admiral, I'd be skinning you like a cat over this little stunt that you pulled. What I can promise you is you are not going to get any help from me to rectify this situation, and the only reason why I am making a little bit of a log here or a message to you or whatever you want to call it is
This is Starfleet's
because
version
it
of
is
Zam,
very
just not
upsetting
British.
to see such disgrace within the Federation and that it still
No, don't
exists
say that.
somehow, even with how tight our protocols are and weeding out the unworthy, if you'd like to call it. People like you still manage to seep through the cracks and screw up like this. So, I'm not helping you fix it. I pray
He's
you
pretty
can
good.
fix it.
I'm
Vulcan ambassador
personally.
is not someone to screw with.
No,
because
I
you
don't think
can't
there's anything
quit
wrong with his
flapping your
performance.
gums. I don't know, Boone. I hope our paths don't cross anytime soon, because choice words I'd have to your face would be much worse than what I'm sending you now. However, I must stay within conduct here. I don't want to be too harsh and come after you about it, but the facts I do know is the facts from the Admiral, and his briefing alone is enough for me to say these things to you. Hope you take a step back for a while, Boone. Take a step back and reconnect with why you are part of all of us in the Federation. Take a step back and remember what you stand for. Take a step back and think about what you have done, caused, and now needs to be fixed. I hope the Admiral doesn't say one word in your defense to the Vulcan ambassador.
God damn.
This is a solo mission for you, Boone.
I needed this guy by
100%.
divorce hearing.
Come here. Anyways,
He was saying, like, you know,
Everything
like,
to do
how can someone like you,
going to be
Boone, be
dealing
in
with
charge?
news like this.
How can you get promoted? I'm thinking to myself, for fuck's sake, Donald Trump was president, and you worry about how someone like Boone can be in
Disgraceful.
charge? Please,
Captain Roth, out.
you know, put it in a pipe and smoke it.
Engineering, how may I direct your call? Oh, hi, it's you. Everybody is talking about it. Captain Boone is in auxiliary control, hiding right now. You know what this means?
Sounds right.
Mandatory sensitivity training.
Sensitivity
Didn't we get
training.
enough sensitivity training in Starfleet Academy? You know, for a group of people who are supposed to be logical and unemotional, I've encountered quite a few Vulcans who go off the deep end whenever they don't like what you say. It wouldn't affect an average Federation citizen, but they lodge a formal complaint. Oh, great. I was just notified. I have to report to the ship's counselor. Do you think it might be sensitivity training, or are they going to do this in a group setting? I hate it when I have to go to the counselor. She's always asking me, and how does that make you feel? Well, frankly, Doctor, if I wanted you to know how it made me feel, I would have already told you.
He's a Tellarite. Confirmed. He's got a beard
On days
and he's
like
kind of an
this,
asshole.
I need a little more Irish in my coffee, if you know what I mean. Or vacation. Or both. Well,
You remind me of somebody from Family Guy.
Yeah, just going on a tirade that has nothing to do with the rest of the content.
catch you later. Engineering out.
Yeah.
All I know,
It
and more
sounded
than what I
his
knew
voice.
before, is that guy
True.
doesn't like sensitivity
If you
training
were
or
to get a military-
counselors.
If you were to take the ambassador from point A to
point B.
What I want to
That was the total summation of your duties.
I want to know
You
what
were
the
not
point
to
of this fan film is.
engage
Like
The
are
ambassador.
Oh, I
we
know.
supposed
conversation.
are we
I
supposed
got
to feel
it.
sorry for Boone? Like, are we Captain Boone?
The
Are we
irony.
supposed to
and insult the man not just once,
everybody's just shitting on Boone? It's like,
twice.
what is this like an amalgamation of the
Well,
internet?
not everyone.
Like,
Not everyone's
One
shitting
of
on
the
him.
junior officers
People have their
could
opinions.
easily be excused,
I know, but still,
and we'd be completely done with this by now. But
that's
no,
what I'm saying. Like, this is like,
It's jarring. We don't know who half of these characters are supposed to be. There's no exposition. We just cut to
bastard.
monologue to monologue.
Well, I'm sure if we,
Yes.
and maybe as we've been told before, if you saw the previous episodes, you would know who these guys are. And I'm thinking, fuck.
I recognize a
very
lot of these people. I just,
Yeah, I
no,
reckon
like,
this is Admiral Roy, I think, or something like that.
Still,
yeah.
I could probably make this go away.
But I'm no, like, literally, what's the point? Like, I'm not saying
You'll
this is a
learn much more
pointless
from it if you
fan
take
film.
care
I'm
of it
saying that,
yourself.
like, why is everybody just shitting on Boone just for
Well,
shitting on
Simple
Boone's
apology
sake?
will not
You know,
It's a bit art housey. Basically, Boone is fucked up. He said something he shouldn't have to the Vulcan ambassador, and the Vulcan ambassador is clutching his pearls like a little bitch. Now everyone's giving their opinions on it. You know, that's all it is.
Perhaps
You
you
know,
can
some
find
people
a
are saying, "Oh, you shouldn't have said
friendly-
that." Some people are saying it's not a big deal. You know, some people saying you're gonna get your just desserts.
You haven't insulted. Hopefully you can work this all out. And for the future, you don't have to screw up in order to get my attention.
It's the only way.
But this isn't sorted out. Well,
so we went from a
The Klingons
TOS
are always
uniform
looking
to
around.
a
Admiral Roy.
TMP uniform. Got it.
There was a disco uniform in there too.
Was there a disco uniform?
It's what his uniform looked like in the beginning, or Strange New Worlds era, rather.
Yeah, Strange New Worlds. Yeah, I'd agree. I still consider that TOS
I want to
era.
know
You know
who
what I
wrote
mean?
this. Jeff Barnes, he wrote it. Music writer. Oh, he's the music writer. But who wrote the script for this? I'm curious. No, he didn't mention it.
Oh, he didn't.
No writing
It
credit.
wasn't mentioned in the credits.
Okay, Sam, take it away.
It's funny in a way, like this is not like a run of the mill Star Trek fan film. This is a bit different. I like when Boone was doing his monologue. It was hard to say where Jim begins and Boone ends, you know, because it was almost they almost felt one and the same. And I think his explanation went on way too long, longer than it should have. And some of the other people who got involved, like that guy in the black room with the sunbeam coming through his curtains. Honestly, that was fucking terrible.
That felt like some Bauhaus art film, you know.
Now the was it Chip Tucker from Enterprise?
Travis
Tucker, yeah. Now the
Charles
Tucker
the third.
Charles Fuckface the third. He
He's my favorite character, motherfucker.
All right, I'm sorry. All right, no, so I apologize. But I was getting like, you know, I was getting Tucker vibes from the guy with the baseball cap and stuff like that. Now he felt like, you know, he'd be going like Star Trek trucking, any moment now with his particular get up. You know, he'll be like in some sort of, you know, space truck with a couple of nacelles at the back. You know, delivering dilithium to like planets that need it and shit like that. Anyway, sorry for
Zam. I think you just gave Star Trek the idea for their next show. Star Trucking,
long hauling.
Yeah, long hauling with taking dilithium across the Federation.
Like jokes aside, he for me gave probably the best performance of all the people there. The next guy after that, yeah, he reminded me of the guy who talks when he whistles and had to sing for Chris from Family Guy, the guy in the red shirt. And final guy, Roy, I've seen him in a few things. He's pretty solid as well. But overall, like just them everyone having their opinion on Boone fucking up, with a Vulcan. I mean, these things happen sometimes. Like if just generally, if a human being fucks up, we have to apologize relentlessly, to the alien culture. But if an alien fucks up, we have to understand why. We have to, give reason and all of that. We have to, no apologies given to us. We're the ones who always do the apologizing, the humans. So don't say sorry to this motherfucker Boone. Tell them to fuck off. But no, overall, if you, I'll give my marks actually after I hear you guys. But overall, I'll be honest with you, it's a bit bland. There's nothing really to this, and I'm being very straight with it. I've got no connection with the characters, and some of the stuff, like I said, like the guy in the dark room was terrible. It was terrible. It really was. But yeah, and I think even Jim himself, he could have like maybe said his lines a bit more clearer and a little bit with a little bit less time. But talking about less time, I've been going on for too long, so I'll pass it on to you, Cheetah.
Well, this was definitely a start. I think this is one of Boone's first fan films. I understand why you have to go the route of having people, talking through communications and stuff like that, or logs or whatever, just because you're not going to get people together. You're not going to get people to, you're not like a big fan film name that gets actors out and people to actually do things in the community yet. But yeah, I agree. It's an interesting way to start. I understand why you started like this, but as I said during the fan film, it really felt like everyone's just being mean just to be mean to Boone. Like it's like, hey, you fucked up, and now they're like rubbing salt in that wound. It's not like there was a dialogue there. It's not like it's like Boone talking to these people. It was these people like posting on space Twitter what their fucking thoughts were on Boone's fuck up. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's kind of the vibe I got. Yeah, Boone, I mean, just work on delivering your lines a little bit better. That's not too much of a major thing. I don't know if you're reading from a prompt or if you're just kind of going off the cuff, but maybe try to script it out a little bit better next time. I mean, that's just improved with practice. I mean, it's not anything, that's too detrimental to it. Obviously some of these guys in here are better fan film actors than others. I mean, we've seen some of these people in fan films before. Obviously, they were doing this as a favor, and that it's good that other people are getting involved in your projects. That just shows sense of community, and I'm glad to see that. So, I definitely would say that the yellow shirt baseball, the gold uniform baseball hat was probably the better of the actors that was there. But I, yeah, I mean, I'll give my mark. I don't when we go around and do our marks, but there's definitely room to improve. I know this is one of the first fan films. I don't think he's had a ton of fan films before this. Just maybe a little bit more planning, a little bit more of a meticulous nature when it comes to filming. Maybe try to do some more camera angles if you can. I know you're relying on other people to do this, and it looks like they're just sitting in front of a camera and talking. So I understand you can only do so much with what you get. So that I understand. But maybe Boone do a little bit more with what you have. You know what I mean? Maybe try to make it. Maybe they could have sent you all of these clips, and then you could have actually turned it into a dialogue between the two of you. You bounced off what they said, and cut things out that you don't want, and then respond to the things that you do, and then make it more of a dialogue rather than, as I said, space Twitter, where they're just putting it out there in the universe, and they're just like,
yeah, communicate to one another.
yeah. Make it a communicate between people. Maybe Boone's like, trying to call in favors, this could be the start of like Boone's fall from grace. You could have been Commodore Boone and then ranked down, deranked. What demoted.
Demoted.
Yeah, I was trying to find the right word. Demoted to captain. This could have been a good point for it's like, you are Commodore Boone. Everybody knows you as Commodore Boone. This would have been a great story instance for you to be demoted down to captain. Just like Kirk was from admiral down to captain. That might have been good, but yeah, I'll kind of leave it at that. Mage?
I understand why you guys have hit on a lot of the things that I would have mentioned. I would have liked to seen a more like consistent visual style instead of Boone had blue screen with a different art style than some of the other guys, and then there was just the one recorded from in a bedroom. Felt like a art house film. It was kind of jarring, the conflicting styles, and just it. Many of them said it. They were doing a log, but it was the most informal log ever that, like Cheeto said, felt like a forum rant. So it was unclear to me if these were letters or video diaries instead of a formal log, but they're throwing the term around. So yeah, just stylistic inconsistencies and the things you've said, but valiant early effort, and it's takes a lot of work to even get people grouped up agreeing to send in footage and make the film happen. And big props to Commodore Boone for making that happen, and for putting the effort out there, and being willing to share this his work with the world, and put it out into the ether, as it were. But definitely a lot of room to improve.
Okay, so I think it's time we give our ranks. I guess I'll go first. I'll be honest with you. I'm trying not to do a disservice here, because I don't want to come across as mean. But I did say I was going to be straight up. I think the lack of interactions between them, all these monologues, was quite detrimental. It would have been nice to see communication between these characters instead of them all just doing little logs of their own, which was, in its own sense, a unique way of doing things. But for me, it didn't work out as well as I wanted it to be. And as Cheeto said, Space Twitter, I'm going to give this. I'm sorry, Boone. I'm very sorry, mate. I'm going to give this a generous 4 out of 10. It was just too bland, mate. It was just too bland. Cheeto?
I'm going to go along the same lines of Zam. I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it a generous 5, only because if this was your 5th fan film, 10th fan film, the ranking would be much lower. But I know you're just starting out, so I'm taking that into consideration. Take everything we've said here and just use it to improve. Constructive criticism. But yeah, I would definitely give this a 5, with the caveat that you get like an early fan film creator bonus, in the ranking, just because you're just starting out, you're just getting your bearings, you're just figuring out how you want to do these things and your characters and stuff like that. So I'm going to give it a generous 5, and just keep it up, Booney. Mage.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I just want to add, don't let our negative marks stop you from creating content. You can always. The thing is that you can only get better. So, yeah. Sorry, Mage. I apologize.
No apologies needed. That's a very important thing to make clear, and I feel the same way. But I'm also going to be giving it a lower mark. I stack fan films against fan films, and I don't usually give early creation kind of handicaps on my scores. I'm going to give it a 3. Just jarring, confusing as to if they were doing actual logs or, just rants. But, valiant effort. and definitely keep at it.
Okay, so that's our review of the fan film. Once again, Boone, who is our friend, our colleague who does reviews for us, please don't let our negative comments discourage you from making more films. We are just free
Constructive
guys.
criticism, my friend.
Yeah, it is constructive criticism. We are just a bunch of guys who have our opinion, but we weren't like knifing you, just so you know. We
Zam
were.
didn't say he wanted to kill himself by the end of it.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I'm sure there are better things to come from Commodore Productions in the future, and we look forward to reviewing and seeing more of your content. In the meantime, Cheeto has a major rage. Thank you very much for joining us here, and to everyone out there in YouTube land, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of. Take care, and may the force be with you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.